Intensity is often an underutilized training variable, and this seems to be because there's a lot of confusion as to what exactly the word intensity means. What exactly differentiates high intensity and low intensity training? Well, contrary to popular belief, it's not about how big the sweat stain is on the back of your shirt, nor how loud you had to grunt while trying to get your 84th rep in. Intensity refers to the amount of weight lifted. Simply put, the heavier the load, the higher the intensity of that exercise. Now, let's break it down. Intensity is in relation to each individual. So, for example, if person number one can bench press 100 pounds for a 1 rep maximum, then 100 pounds is equal to 100% intensity for that exercise for that individual. Therefore, 90 pounds would be 90%, 80 pounds would be 80%, 50 pounds would be 50%, and so on and so forth. However, if person number two can bench press 200 pounds for a 1 rep maximum, then 100 pounds for person number two would only be 50% intensity. So a 100-pound bench press would have a very high intensity for person number one, but a low intensity for person number two. The intensity is relative to how strong you are as an individual. Now, reps and intensity have an inverse relationship, which means as the number of repetitions performed increases, the intensity will have to decrease. So a 1 repetition maximum has a very high intensity, while a 20 repetition maximum has a very low intensity. And in order to maximize hypertrophy, one needs to exhaust the entire spectrum of repetitions. So this brings us to this awesome chart, and it shows the number of repetitions and the expected training effect as per our SAID principle, our specific adaptations to impose demand. So first, on the right-hand column, the left-hand column, you'll see that strength has an ideal training effect between 1 to 3 repetitions. So does myofibrillar hypertrophy, whereas sarcoplasmic hypertrophy hits its maximum effect at 20 repetitions. So we want to make sure that we have a balance between both. So high intensities, less than 5 reps, will primarily influence hypertrophy by maximizing mechanical tension. However, excessive loads could also drum up some muscle damage. And low intensities, sets greater than 15 reps, will primarily influence hypertrophy by maximizing metabolic stress. Both mechanical tension and muscle damage can still occur if sets are taken to failure. Now, it's best to think of repetitions in regards to hypertrophy as a bell curve. It's good to use the entire curve, but optimal would be to spend more time in the sweet spot of 6 to 12 repetitions. This intensity range gives the best ratio of mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage.